My grandma had a beautiful garden of roses and, sorry.
A wildfire emergency now. Yet another wildfire tears through a northwest community, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Tonight, we're hearing from one of dozens of families now starting the path to recovery. At last update, the Burdoin Fire had scorched more than 10,000 acres in the Columbia River Gorge.
It's burning on the Washington side near Lyle. At this hour, there is zero containment. K2's on your side with live team coverage on this wildfire emergency. Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Dave Selesky is tracking conditions right now as the fire burns across the region. K2's Allison Gottlieb is watching another fire, now and the largest in the U.S.
We start with K2's Christina Giardinelli live in Lyle. Christina, those winds seem to be hitting pretty hard right about now.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably hear them in the mic kicking up. They're moving northeast right now. All day I've been watching tankers pick up water here in the Columbia River. They're picking up that water and they're taking it over to the other side of that ridge where you can see some of the billowing smoke. But just in the last hour or so, with the direction of the winds shifting here northeast, we've been seeing a lot of that activity in the canyon here that's behind me. You can see some of the smoke there from the spot fires that have really kicked up a little bit. And then on the other side of the canyon, you might not be able to see it as well because of these trees, but there's some billowing smoke right there. So this fire is pretty volatile, pretty actively moving, and families like the ones I talked to are still waiting to hear about their homes.
We just gotten the fresh paint. We just made my son's nursery. Hasn't even got to sleep in his crib, more than a couple naps.
When Katie and David Curran evacuated their home in Lyle at 2 a.m. Saturday, they told themselves it was temporary.
When you go through these things, you're like, there's no way. Like, there's no way this could happen.
Standing on the Oregon side of the Columbia Saturday afternoon, they watched the flames spread and realized there would be nothing to come home to.
That rubble right there where that cloud of smoke is coming up to the left is where our home used to be. And we watched the flames go all the way up behind the house, and she just couldn't watch it from that point, and we had to leave.
The home has been in Katie's family for generations.
It was so hard because, like, he's sobbing, our son, just totally not understanding what's going on. I'm sobbing because this is my grandparents' home. It's been in my family, God, 40 years, 50 years. They, believe it or not, they actually moved here because their house burnt down in South Dakota. And this was their fresh start.
Curran says the loss of her home is painful, but her thoughts are also with the dozens of others who lost everything. People like her neighbor, Lacey Cars.
Stuff's pretty replaceable, but some of our sentimental things that we weren't able to get, that's pretty heartbreaking. And all my son's firstborn things were there, and we let those go. But all my animals got out.
Cars says she's seen many fires near Lyle over the years, but never thought one would take her home.
My family's been here for over 60 years, and we've never seen structures lost like this.
Now, the home Cars was living in was a rental. They were staying there while building up a home on their family's property. That fire, she says, now encroaching on that property. She's hoping it will be safe once we get to the end of this, and that's a lot of the hope that families out here are still holding, and we're working to bring information to them as quickly as possible on the status of this fire. For now, live in Lyle, Christina Giardinelli, K2 News.
Christina, thank you for that. An important notice for anyone in need of shelter because of the Burdoin Fire. The Red Cross has moved its operations from Columbia High School to Grace Baptist Church. The address of the church is on your screen. You can also find this info on K2.com. The Red Cross says everyone is welcome at its shelters. They will also make accommodations for pets.
A notice for people who live in Lyle tonight. Klickitat Public Utility District is asking customers to conserve water. That's because of the low reservoir level. Firefighters are also being asked not to pull water from the town of Lyle. Consider taking shorter showers, waiting to water your lawn, turn off your tap when you brush your teeth, and other conservation measures.
Tonight, FEMA is authorizing funds to fight the Burdoin Fire. It's the first such declaration to help fight a wildfire in Washington this year. FEMA determined the Burdoin Fire could constitute a major disaster. The fire is threatening homes in White Salmon, Bingen, Straight Point, and Lyle. It's also threatening roads, railways, and power lines. The Columbia River Scenic Area and the turtle habitat in the area are also under threat.
In Oregon, FEMA has authorized funds to fight wildfires 4 times so far this year. The Highland Fire in Crook County, the Applegate Road Fire in Jackson County, and the Alder Springs Fire in Jefferson County, and the Rowena Fire in Wasco County. FEMA fire management assistance grants cover up to 75% of the state's eligible firefighting costs for fires. Grants do not include assistance for individual home or business owners.